Okay. How long you been?
Hold on for 1 second. We live now, so hold on. All right. It's Fist Pump Friday. Montez at midday. Being presented to you by St. Louis Organics. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to them all. And thank you again for tuning in to Montez at midday. Yeah, got to get the music going for the people. Get them up and grooving. As I always try to preach, stay hydrated. Get that water in.
Heard that.
DJ, cut that real quick. DJ, we done. DJ, we done. All right, kids, how we doing? It's Fist Pump Friday. I'm your host, Dre Montez. And before I introduce this young gentleman here on the show, we got to get into our regular routine. You know, we got to do high fives, chest bump. Gotta hug it out. Gotta hug yourself every now and then. Coach. Gotta hug yourself every now and then, Coach Tank. Gotta hug it out. You gotta hug yourself. A lot of people don't get hugs, man. But hug yourself throughout the day. And most importantly, if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. Shout out to my cousin Dante White. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Yes, that is the Dante White, whose sister is Courtney White, that balled out on senior day last Saturday at Fontbonne, putting up a career high 34 points. You go, girl. There it is right there. Happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating something today, congratulations to you. If you're getting the keys to something today, hey, you deserve it. And most importantly, don't forget the details of the day. Be careful out there between Milwaukee and St. Louis. When you fall over the age 30, shit not funny no more. So take your time. Hold on to the damn rail. There are no shoes you can buy to stop you from falling on ice. So take your time and get there safely because we need you. More important. But it is Montez at midday. It's Fist Pump Friday. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. You can follow us several ways. We have a page on Facebook for our podcast, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast, Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, YouTube Dre Montez, and TikTok Dre Montez 63. But it's Friday, it's Black History Month, and I have been trying for the past few months to reach out more people and promote their path, their story that I find a unique twist in. And through Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, even Snapchat, I've met some amazing people throughout this whole process I've been going through. And I met this amazing author here, my man, Larry Tank Purdue, a Coach Tank, as they call him up in Milwaukee. My man got a book here, if you can see it. It's called The Fullback. And you can get this on Amazon. And I brought him on the show today to talk about this book, his journey, and what is it like to be somebody in the family, somebody really come up to you and say, you wrote a book? What do you tell them? Yeah, I wrote a book. Tell me about The Fullback.
Well, I titled the book Fullback because it was the position that I played in high school. And it's also a throwback position in football. The position is slowly being phased out, and it's sort of a throwback now. So, I consider myself to be a throwback to those days. You got to be tough as nails, strong and full of grit to play that position. And those are some of the things that motivated me to write it. The position, I played it. I coach it, and it was such a battle for me just to try to keep playing football throughout my high school years. So that's one of the reasons I named it Fullback.
Okay, and I like the passion that you show in there too, as well. As I was telling you before we came on, it kind of reminds me of the movie Moneyball. When you really look at the premise of things, what it's about a passionate guy that's telling you about his passion, that being fullback. And you are right. That was a highly looked about and thought about position. It's kind of like drifted off into what the tight end now is, getting more position in play as the fullback. Was this your first attempt at writing?
Yes, it was. This was my first attempt at writing. I I had plans on writing possibly a memoir.
Okay.
I always felt that my story was compelling enough to share with other people. But during the quarantine is when I was able to just hunker down and get to it. And once I started, I couldn't stop. All the memories started flowing. I just couldn't stop. And yeah, I was able to complete it, and I'm very proud of it. Very
That's
proud
awesome,
of it.
dude. Again, can you tell the folks how to get your book and one more time on the title?
So the title is called Fullback. The author is Larry Tank Purdue, and you can get the book on paperback or ebook on Amazon or Lulu. Unfortunately, I do not have the link with me.
I tell you what, I'm going to share the link right after the show. I'm going to put
Okay,
it on my page and tag it on the Dre Montez page, as well as the Who's to Blame page
right.
on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. And for all the
Appreciate
YouTube
it.
people that are watching right now, Facebook as well as Twitter, I'm going to share that book with you guys, and I hope you guys do the same thing as well. I'm getting up there. You're the third author I've had on the show, and I really do
Okay.
appreciate it, my man. But this book and the way you tell your story from the upbringing and the struggles and getting over the hump on the process of not just playing the position of football, but what made you want to put this in print?
Well, like I was saying, I felt I had a compelling story. Um, every time I would, look back at my past, and it was just something that motivated me. And also, I work with a lot of at risk inner city youth, and I coach a lot of great kids.
Okay.
And one thing that I noticed at the end of the football season, another reason that I wrote that inspired me to write the book, uh, I noticed that at the end of the football season, a lot of these kids, for any reason or the other, they did not reach their goals. They didn't reach the goals that they planned for themselves, and you see them go by the wayside pretty quick.
Right.
And I've coached a lot of kids, man, that they didn't quite have it together. They graduated, and within a year or two, they were dead and in jail. And it
Right.
was becoming more. It's becoming more and more of a cycle. Just had uh, let me see, from 2 years ago, from 2018 team, but that we coached at Marshall. Just had a kid get shot and killed. So it's it was disheartening to me, man, and I wanted to share my story with them and let them know that even though your plans don't pan out, things don't pan out the way you always plan them to, you got to keep going. The
For
struggle,
sure, man.
you
That's what I try to preach, man. I don't do politics or religion. I try to keep it positive on Montez at midday, as well as my podcast, Who's to Blame with Dre Montez. But I think people need to be more real with themselves. And in a way, like you said, COVID made you really focus on things. I know there's a lot of sadness that comes with COVID, but
yeah,
there are a lot of positive stories and situations that came out of COVID as well. It made you hunker down. It made you really read the instructions and the directions on yourself, your situation, and day-to-day activities. And some people overcame it. Some people got creative, and some people just found a different route to express
right,
themselves and things and situations. And the fact that your book came out of this situation, I think it speaks high volume. And as I said at the beginning of this, I can see possibly this being taken beyond the book because there's so much passion. And I played competitive softball for 25 years, and I can see
uh,
myself in this book because I've thought
right,
about writing a book and doing a documentary to show my love and appreciation for my upbringing. But I don't know
right.
how to do that. And as a person who's put a book together and somebody that's listened, what's some steps or advice you can give somebody that's on the path of trying to tell their story when it comes to putting the
Okay,
book together?
so I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I freestyle. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm naturally a gifted writer. I
Okay.
would say
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
I'm,
that. Nothing
I'm,
wrong
I'm
with that at
fairly
all.
gifted writing. So and it was the first time I ever decided, to write a long piece, and everything just came together. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Basically, what I did is I pretty much researched some things. I wrote the book, and I placed the book chapter by chapter on Google Drive. Once I
Okay.
wrote up, once I formulated all the chapters and got everything together, I hired a guy on Fiverr to format it, to format the book so I can have it self-published.
Okay.
So I had a guy format the book, and I sent it in to Amazon and Lulu for self-publishing. And I was able to get everything going. And so far, it's been pretty good. I released the book at the end of November. It's selling pretty good so far.
That's what's up. But again, I'm going to share his link, which is on Amazon. It's fullback. I'm talking with Arthur Larry, Coach Tank Purdue, who wrote a book titled Fullback that we have on here. And he lives up in Milwaukee. And fear the deer. Fear the deer. Fear. Is Giannis that cool, man, or is he lying? He that cool?
Giannis is that cool.
He's that cool.
Giannis is that cool, man. I can vouch.
Because I live in a sports town in St. Louis. And I've met some asshole athletes throughout my 15 years in talk radio. And I've met some cool motherfuckers. I met some real down to earth. They don't realize who they are, what they do. None of that impresses me. I met people like that. And
see, Milwaukee
is that dude.
Milwaukee is a city that'll humble you. If you come here and you're not right, we'll get you right. One of
the sponsors of my show, Friendly's here in South City at 3503 Roger Place, during the playoffs last year, I met this very infectious group of young men that live here in St. Louis, but are from Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
And they're huge basketball fans. So the Deer District during the NBA playoffs was in the bar down the street. It was amazing.
Oh, man. Yeah,
to see people that involved in their sports team when you don't have an NBA team. I've tried my best. Like, Coach Tank, I've tried. I've reached out to the NBA. Can you give St. Louis a chance? I mean, we have hot women. We got places to go. We have beautiful hotels. Airbnb's off the chain. We got entertainment around the volumes here. We just want another shot at the NBA.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been to St. Louis. I would love to visit.
Hey, man, you're down the street, too. You what, 5 hours away, I think?
Possibly so, what?
Yeah. Only thing I know about Milwaukee is the serial killer and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's it.
That's what I hear everywhere I go to.
I had a little incident with black people like in the mid-'70s up there that like turned out I'm not going up to Milwaukee ever.
Yeah. We have some crazy incidents up here.
I mean, I think every city has went through that. I mean, places I want to go just based off of what I now know and what I was scared of: Milwaukee, San Fran, and LA. Them are 3 places I want to visit. But television and movies kind of scared me for a minute on those cities. Like for instance, I'm never going fishing at nighttime in Florida with nobody.
Right.
I'm never going to Mexico. Thank you, Man on Fire.
Right. That was a good movie too.
Never. I have no desire ever to go to Mexico. No.
Right.
No. Not at all.
And well, I've lived in LA, and I'm currently living in Milwaukee. So, I mean, some of your fear is very much understandable because I've lived, and I talk about it in the book too.
I love your adversities and how you dealt with it, and it's not giving advice. You're telling your own testament.
Right.
That's how I feel. Like, I don't give relationship advice. Like, for instance, I've been married 4 times. I just listen to people. Right. I don't give nobody advice on dating. I just do this. Mm-hmm. Sure. But
right.
No, I stay in my own lane on that, Coach. I really do. So where are you coaching at now?
I coach at Milwaukee Marshall High School.
What's the classification? You got 4A, 5A, 2A up there. What is it?
We got divisions, Division 1 through 5. No, Division 1 through 6. Division being the most enrollment. We go by enrollment. So we're Division 1 school. We just won city conference football championship last year. I'm the running backs coach there.
The position coach.
I'm a position coach. I'm the running backs coach there. I've been a high school football coach for over 20 years now.
Man,
I'm a running back specialist. I love coaching running backs.
I've been watching the NFL college football with you and the NFL is amazing.
Man. My wife, everybody tell me, can you please just shut up? Can you
That's
stop
why I don't
trying
watch the Super Bowl. That's why I don't go to people's houses to watch Super Bowl no more. I want to hear the fucking game.
Right. And sometimes I can't help it. Like I'll see some of them like, oh shit, they're gonna run a screen. Oh, they're gonna run a draw. You calling out plays and shit. Everybody like, man, what the hell, man?
Yeah, but coaching over 20 years, man, I'm quite sure you have heard some stories, seen some stories, and helped out. Not everything is a real sports, and everything is a 30 for 30. But I'm quite sure some shit has gotten to you like, I can't believe this is happening to a kid in high school, because coaches are not just coaches anymore. From my time playing Little League baseball to adult competitive softball, it has changed. And my brother, my best friend, Coach Pat of AAU basketball team, STL Pressure here, I talked to him about this a lot. You're more than a coach now.
Right.
I don't want to call you another parent or another father, but you're a counseling session that the kids have to go through. Do you see that as well?
It's funny because I talked about this with some other coaches. And it's like you almost got to be a coach / social worker / counselor, / mentor. You wear a lot of hats, especially in the city conference, because
Right.
these kids have obstacles that the average suburban kid don't encounter
At all.
So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to go involved with it. It's the pay is terrible anyway. So a lot of times you find yourself coming out your pocket, to help support the kids.
If you think about it, Coach, nothing that anybody does that actually gives true value and meaning to life really gets paid what they should. If you think about it, if you really hunker down to it, the people that give the lessons in life do not get the monetary appreciation that they deserve.
Right. You're absolutely right. I coach. I also do off-season training. During the football off season, and I do it.
Okay.
I do it totally free. I do it
That's
totally
what's up,
free.
man.
And I've noticed that I'm receiving the blessings from doing it free. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask the kids for money. I use my own truck, my gas money. I pick them up. I do a lot. I even feed them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rewarded in other ways than monetary. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's like God. I feel
when
like
the
God
passion
takes
is
care of
over the money, you will see it. But if you put the money first, that's all you're going to see. That's why I don't want to say I hate, but I don't like the affirmation chasing the bag.
Right.
If that's all you about, that's all you're going to do is chase the bag your entire life. Put something else on chasing the bag.
Right.
And where you're coaching at right now, is this a private school, predominantly black school, a charter school? What is it?
It's a public school. The inner city public school. I graduated from there in '89.
Oh, we came out of high school the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I graduated from the oldest African-American high school west of the Mississippi, Sumner High School.
Ooh.
It was opened in 1875, but I played baseball. We won the PHL in 1989. Yep.
Right.
Still talking about it to this day.
That's cool. That is cool.
Coach, I go to my homecoming like I'm still in high school. And our cheerleaders in their 40s and 50s still look good. Still look good. That black don't crack. I'm telling you, that shit is true on some people.
Still just win them pom-poms, huh?
Hey, look here.
Sis boom ba rah rah rah.
But I wanted one. But I tell you what, though, I'm gonna put on my agenda because I do a 3-month vacation, and it's coming up. I take off the month of May, June, and July. I think I'll make a trip up there, Coach. I'm coming up there.
Come up.
I'm coming up. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna stay at an Airbnb because I love Airbnbs over the hotels. I love these Airbnbs. I'm gonna come up there. I'm gonna come up there and kick it for a couple of days. I'm gonna go to the Deer District.
I will take you to the Deer District, and you will have a ball.
I want to fear the deer.
Deer District. Hey, the basketball game is more than just a game; it's an experience at the Deer District.
You know, I just came from Oklahoma City a couple weeks ago, and I went to the Thunder Pacers game.
Right.
And where the Thunder played, I mean, it's Oklahoma. A lot of people have jokes and all this about Oklahoma and all this, but what a hell of a place to put an NBA team. What a hell of a place. And the people in Oklahoma City was just amazing. So I can imagine how the Milwaukeeans are going to be. That what you guys call Milwaukee?
Yeah, we're Milwaukeeans.
Milwaukee. All right. So, football-wise, who's your team in college?
Well, I guess that's my problem. People say stick to one team, but I have two favorite teams.
Okay.
And this is crazy too. They're both Big Ten teams. I love my Wisconsin Badgers, and I have an affinity for the Michigan Wolverines. There's something about that block M.
Coach.
I know, man. I know.
Coach, that makes no sense at all.
I know, man.
This is beyond dipping your fries in mayonnaise right here.
I know. And, because I start off when I was younger. I started off loving Michigan. I love Michigan football and basketball. Love watching it. And as I got older, I started paying more attention to my Badgers. And of course, they started winning, so that made it a little easier.
Okay.
but as I got older, man, I started loving my Badgers more. But I didn't want to let my Wolverines go. So I enjoy watching them both. I hate watching them play each other. But hey, what can I say?
How you do it. I don't know how. I have a crazy affliction as well, but not as that one.
Yeah.
Tune in to Montez at MidDay on Fish Pump Friday. Being brought to you by St. Louis Organics. Got Arthur, Larry, Coach Tank, Purdue on here. And got his book, Fullback. You can purchase it on Amazon. I will share it on my link immediately following the show. But this is it right here. He's a Milwaukee man. He's a high school football coach over 20 years. And he's a Wisconsin Badger and Michigan Wolverines college football fan. Well, maybe it's my problem because I joined the Navy right after high school, and I was stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii.
Right.
So I fell in love with Hawaii, the college team. I went to the games, the baseball team. Shout out to Billy Blanchett. But then on the other side, when I got out, I moved to North Carolina. Thank you, wife number one and two. I started out in radio down there with WFNZ Sports Radio 610 AM, and we covered the SEC predominantly. And I got to seeing this thing about Florida. Next thing you know, I'm a Gator fan. I'm a Gator fan in college football. Like, I'm not to the point where I think we're going to win every game. Like, I'm not throwing my TV out the window. I'm not breaking the flat screen. But I only wear orange and blue on Saturdays during college football. Okay. That's it. I'm that dude. Like, I can't wear a Florida football jersey now because we're not playing. Right. We're not playing at all. I'm that. I put my stuff away, but then I break it out. Now, on the professional level, who's your team?
Oh, Green Bay Packers. Most definitely. The Pack.
Here's something.
Cheesehead for life. Cheesehead for life.
How many championships does the Green Bay Packers own?
13. If we're counting
so
early,
11 of those happened before color television. Okay.
That's true. But I'm going to claim them. We're going to claim them though.
You've had Aaron. You've had Vincent Lombardi.
Yeah.
I'm going to say his name as everyone should. Vincent Lombardi. You're historic on so many levels. You're a shareholder-owned team, the only one ever. You're in Green Bay, where black people just go to work but not live.
True.
It's cold as fuck there. I was there for the 95 NFC Championship game between the Panthers and the Packers. Okay. It was that cold.
It's a different type of cold. I tell people, northern Wisconsin and southern Wisconsin is different when it comes to cold.
I think people should sell winter coats with a title. Midwest winter coat, West Coast winter coat.
Right.
Disrespectful. But here's what I need out of Green Bay. Can we upgrade the stadium? Can we give some upgrades, please? You know, there's so much in nostalgia. There's so much in historical. But damn, it's 2022. Come on.
Yeah, us Wisconsinites, it's hard for us to split with tradition. See, we have a saying. We have a saying. There's not one bad seat in Lambeau Field.
That's how I feel about Busch Stadium. I don't know if you've ever been to a professional baseball game, but here, there's not a bad seat at Busch. And we're Cardinal baseball fans and Blues hockey fans, and we got this new soccer team coming, and we're trying to get an NBA team here, and we got screwed over the XFL and COVID bullshit. But we're a sports breeding town, and we're hungry for the NBA. In some kind of way, we're going to put it together. We're going to put it together.
Well, the NFL.
The NFL is in a bad situation right now.
Okay.
Considering everything that has happened in the front office of some major teams, the Brian Flores situation, the coach of the Raiders situation, that right there, John Gruden, that's crazy. Roger Goodell, really, he's in a fucked up situation because he works with these people that are in a lot of trouble and he can't say anything. That has to be, this is worse than a snitch.
Right.
This is like the girl that lives in the hood with the fat ass that's ugly, that everybody fucking, but she can't tell nobody that she banging all these dudes.
Yep.
This is, I feel really sorry for Roger Goodell because if he opened up his mouth, I don't think we would have the NFL no more. It's that bad what's going on in the NFL outside of the playing field. Now, on the field itself, I think this Super Bowl was probably one of the best ever. What you think?
I think it was too. It was a good Super Bowl. It was a good game. It was a very good game.
It was the best postseason I think I've ever seen.
I'd rather watch a good game or a nail biter instead of a blowout, especially on the Super Bowl. It's got to be a good game.
There you go, Coach.
It's got to live up to expectations.
You know, and I'm a Denver Bronco fan. I've been a fan since 1982. That's my squad. So seeing Kansas City lose,
right? AFC rival.
Ever think that somebody would get paid $500 million in sports? Did you ever think that would happen?
No.
If you get paid $500 million, I'm gonna break it down to its purest form, Coach. It's like the first time we had a friend that made $10 an hour.
Right.
We expected things out of them. Their car should be different. Their apartment, their clothes. Whole lifestyle should change when you make that money.
Right.
But in the end, I think it's wrong for us to do that. The more and more I think about it, I think it's wrong for put those values on people based on what we know about their income. I've petitioned several sports organizations to stop letting us know how much money they make. Why? Let's judge them who they are. But every time it comes up, I go back to Patrick Mahomes. For $500 million, you better not lose a game that you're playing in. No, $500 million? $500 million. Kansas City would never go back to the Super Bowl.
$500 million to play quarterback in the NFL.
Did you see that come as a fullback? Did you ever think that an NFL player could be in a position?
Never. To make that kind of money, never, ever.
Now, on the college level and in the high school basketball, I think high school basketball is going to hit it before any other sports in basketball, or you can probably speak on it. I think there's money coming there next. I think the NIL is going to hit the high school level. I think that's coming next because we're tired of hearing the stories of the kids that can't eat.
Right.
They can't get to school. They don't have any clothes. The NIL can cover all three of those if they do it the right way on the high school level.
Right now, the problem that we're having in Milwaukee with some of the student athletes, especially the basketball players, they're getting snatched out of the city early. A lot of them aren't even playing high school basketball. They're playing AAU ball, and they're being recruited from the AAU league. And it's kind of crazy because usually the traditional way to get a scholarship is playing ball for your high school, and earning it that way. But now these kids they're bypassing high school ball. They're playing AAU, or they're transferring to a prep school somewhere
to get the opportunity to get more exposure, to get into a
get more
better college,
exposure.
to
But
give
what
them
it's
the
doing,
opportunity to go to the next level. Yeah,
right? And which is great. But it's also lessening. It's also lessening the playing field in Milwaukee as far as the quality of
how is the
athletes.
talent up there? Is it pretty good? Pretty good talent on the
Talent's
high
pretty
school?
good. Talent is pretty good. We always have some top tier players. We got a lot of Division I athletes to come out of here each year.
Indiana,
How
your
far do they make
competition
it?
state, right? Is it Indiana your competition state?
Uh, well, I would say all the surrounding states: Minnesota, Illinois, um, Michigan. I would say, yeah, I would say that they all compete for Midwest student
Hmm.
athletes.
You say guys won this championship in football last year, right?
Well, no, we won the city conference championship.
And what's the name of the high school you at again, Coach?
I'm in Milwaukee Marshall High School, home of the Eagles.
Milwaukee Marshall High School. Again, guys, you're tuning in right now. I'm talking with author of the book, fullback Larry Coach Tank Purdue. I'm going to share the link up on Amazon. You guys can get it. It's a great read. And as a person, I have a condition called LHON. I'm legally blind. It stands for Leber's hereditary optical neuropathy. I don't want to put you on the spot at all, but do you offer this book in large print for people that have low vision?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay.
If there's I'm interested in doing that though. I'm definitely interested in doing that.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on TV, but on the frame here. But I have a television right here, about a 18-inch television that has a magnifier on it. It reads my mail. It reads the books to me. Reads the newspaper. So I put books under there to get my daily read together. But when you go through something, you see the adversities, the advantages and disadvantages when you're going through something. It's like you break your leg, you got to use crutches. You bitching up why you can't get into places.
Right.
It has something. And as a person with low vision, I go through it.
Okay.
I bought some damn baby formula thinking it was wipes. True story. I thought this was wipes, sanitizer wipes.
Man.
I get home, it's baby formula. What?
That's got to be heartbreaking.
Oh, the day they rearranged the grocery store, Coach, the day they rearranged the grocery store and didn't tell me. Oh. Man. Everybody want to win a lot of money and do crazy shit. Not me. I'm going to open up a grocery store for low vision people, and we're going to have a DJ. If grocery stores had DJs, we getting through this shit.
Man,
we getting through this shit.
We'll always have somewhere to party.
All these and Snooks.
We'll always have somewhere to party.
Yeah.
Go to the store.
Yeah. And we're going to be open for 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's it. The party hour.
The party hour.
Yeah.
Party hours.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can get it in. You can get it in. You can get it in. I call that bad decision hours, 6 to 2.
Man, that's the other. Those are trouble hours.
Your project. What's your next agenda? Where we going now?
Well, I want to continue to promote the book, try to get the sales up. My long-term goal is to get the book in libraries.
Okay.
To make it more accessible. I definitely want to get the book to student athletes. I think it's important that a lot of kids, plan accordingly and not just follow the dream, but have a plan while you're dreaming. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a dream that you want to be a pro athlete, but have a fallback plan. Have a fallback plan and work on that plan while you're working on while you're playing your sport. You know, I was so growing up during my high school years. I was so focused on just trying to play. You know, trying to deal with the outside pressures of life and dealing with stuff going on at home and in the street that it was making it so difficult for me to just latch on to a team that has some stability. And you know, that's the one thing that these kids got to have out here nowadays too, man. Is stability. You know, I didn't have that stability that a child needs to nurture and to thrive, and that's very important. You know, having
So
that
on
stability.
that same level, we had a little adversity last week, and when it comes to the coaching aspect of the world with Juwan Howard.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that situation? As a high school coach and as a guy that used to play sports, how did you view this, your initial response? And then what did you think on Tuesday? Go.
Well, my initial response was, Juwan, you threw the wrong type of punch, man. It should have been closed hand. It should have been more like a left hook.
For one, I didn't think you were going to say that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But really,
Coach, that really caught me off guard right there. That was tough. I like that.
I'm just kidding, man. But but hey, I'll tell you this though. I'll say this. There's a such thing called coaching ethics, and Greg Gard, the coach of Wisconsin, I'm pretty sure he knows what that is. He knows what coaching ethics is. And I just had an argument with a friend of mine about this yesterday. Okay, it's 15 seconds left in the game. Okay, and Michigan is pressing the ball. You call a timeout. Why are you calling the timeout? Some guys will say, "Oh, that's a teachable moment." No, you can teach that moment after the game. You know what I'm saying? It's only 15 seconds left.
Question: how is that a teachable moment?
Right.
What do you teach? If I'm the student and you're the teacher, what was I supposed to learn by you calling a timeout with 15 seconds with the score the way it was?
Right. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Well, what was that about? Why try to break the press? You turn the ball over. So what? There's 15 seconds left. You're up by 15. Game is over. There's this thing called coaching ethics. You didn't have to call that timeout at that timeout then.
Never.
Let the clock run out. The game is over. So I understood Juwan's. I understood why he was upset. I also saw where one of Wisconsin's assistant coaches did reach out and touch him. Now, did his response warrant that? I don't know.
I think he said something.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
possible.
Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh game, throwing the helmet at the quarterback on Mason. He said the nigga word. We don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever that coach said, if you look at it in super slow-mo, like MLB style, they got the best sports camera in America. I wish football had it. If you look at the video, that coach said something. Because they moved the head coach out of the way quickly. The short black cop moved him. He pivoted him out the way immediately.
Right.
So the head coach was gone. But that youngster said something. I don't know what he said, but Juwan didn't like it. Maybe he said something about the basketball team when he was with Michigan.
Right. Right.
You talked to Chris lately?
Time out.
Because let's face it,
you know those guys are sensitive too. You know they're sensitive.
Athletes are the most sensitive motherfuckers in America. We think it's Lifetime. We think Lifetime, the network is sensitive. No, look at athletes. Baseball players don't forget shit. Football players are petty.
Right.
NBA players will poke the bear. Yes. NHL will never let you forget. It's across the board. And I was leading into this, but I know you did something in youth sports or high school. Throughout your years of sports, I know you have either observed pettiness that tried to poke you, you let it go. You've been a part of pettiness. And then there have been moments you're like, fuck it, I'm going all in. We fight.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't remember ever going all the way in, but I did. I've had some words with other coaches in the past. I've had some words with other coaches in the past, and all regarding coaching ethics. All regarding coaching ethics. For example, we're playing a team. Well, I better not use that as an example. Well, okay, I'll just say this. I'll just say this. I don't think it's fair for a team to run up a score. If you're already winning 2 or 3 touchdowns, the game is almost over, and you're on goal line and you're about to score again.
I feel you on that one.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got some guys who not only would they go for the score, but the manner in which they do it. You know what I'm saying? The manner in which they do it.
Right.
Like if you're blowing this out and you're still throwing the football all around the field trying to score, that's terrible. That's terrible. Now I can now here's another thing though. I'll say this. I don't believe that a coach should harness your kids. If you're blowing the team out, if I'm blowing the team out, I take my starters out, I put my second and third stringers in, and they're still busting ass. Okay, I'm not going to tell them to hit the brakes. I'm not going to tell them to take it easy. I got my third string team in there, and I expect those guys to play hard and enjoy themselves, and during the course of the game as well. I'm not going to ask them to take it easy on you, but at the same time, I'm not trying to run the clock up. I'm not trying to run the score up on you either, though. I don't know.
So football in the 80s was totally different than in college.
Definitely.
I think now being 51 years old, I look at things totally different now. There's animosity across the board. For every coach, there's a story. So when you play in situations and in a game when teams used to win games 72-3, what the fuck?
Right.
Then you find out years later why that happened. You're like, oh, okay. Why was Ken Griffey that excited beating the Yankees in that game? It's because of the story when he was playing catch with his dad and Craig Nettles' son was out there. That's why Ken Griffey don't like the Yankees. When you know the story, I think it makes the appreciation even better. It's like when you book fullback, a lot of people don't even know about the fullback position.
Right.
So I think you're giving people history. You're giving them an appreciation value. You're giving them, let me tell you something, boy. Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what I did. I played the position and I wrote a book and you can buy it. And I'm Larry Coach Purdue. And I did the damn thing. And it's Black History Month. And we getting that damn book out here.
Appreciate it, brother.
Some books for you. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're going to do something special.
Amazon.
But more importantly, man, your passion, though, man. I mean, as a guy that played a game of baseball and softball for so long, to want to do something that you've done, I'm blown away, man. That's why I reached out to you. You wrote a book about something that you did and you showed passion about, and you sharing your story, man. I think that's wonderful. But you said something in your book on when people label you, hey, you should be great, you should be doing this. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that out of the book that you talked about?
Yeah, so growing up, my first love was basketball, but I did not have the size and the shape to be a basketball player.
First of all, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6". I'm a short, stocky guy. I'm a short, stocky guy. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people would, growing up, people were like, hey, little man, you're going to be a football player. I know you play football. What position you play? Fullback? So I would hear about the position in football, and I wasn't even interested in football then. I was interested in basketball. And I talk about this in the book. And so I made it to an all-star game in my 6th grade year. Made it to our basketball all-star game. My sister's boyfriend took me to the game. Right. So played the game, and on the way home, I was upset because I didn't have a great game. And my sister's boyfriend at the time, Daryl, he said, "Hey man, you know what? Basketball ain't your sport." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "You can play." He said, "You can play. You're functional. You can play." He said, "But it's not your sport." So I think your sport is football. I was like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, football." He's like, "You'll be a damn good running back. You got speed. You got quickness. You can be a fullback." Like, what? What is that? Right? so,
How do you do that?
right, exactly. So I also used to collect basketball cards, sports cards, and I traded cards. I used to trade cards with a friend. He had football cards. I'm like, damn, what are these? Check them out. So I'm checking them out and kind of grew a liking for them, and that kind of got me into wanting to see what football was about. So I started watching football on TV, and I got an interest from that. But I didn't start playing until I moved to California.
Okay. Yeah. That's when it changed.
Yeah, that's when it changed. I got out there, and the coaches saw me, and they said the same thing. Hey, you're a fullback. Before I even got on the field. So
That's what's up.
once I got out there, man, I started practicing. I started practicing with the running back unit, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the physicality of it. I was able to get the ball from time to time, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Man, to meet people that played sports that really got love, like baseball and softball was my first love. If I really break it down, I loved it. I mean, it was so bad when I retired 6 years ago. I couldn't be around it, coach. I couldn't. I couldn't go to the games. I couldn't talk. It was too emotional. I mean, to this day, I hang my jerseys in a separate closet. I go in there probably once a week and talk to them because that was my shit. I didn't want to play in my 50s, 60s.
Right.
There are people that play in their 70s. I didn't want to do that. I had a timeline. Did you have a timeline when you played ball?
No. Actually, my struggle was just being able to finish my high school career. I was dealing with so many things off of the field.
Yeah.
I just wanted just enough stability in my life to where I could complete my senior year of football.
I'm telling you, kids, this is a great read. This is a great read. This is a great read. I'm telling you, it's a great read. Not because he just on my show. If I'd have never met this man and I bought this book, I'd be telling you the same thing. And thank you for sending me the book, by the way.
Man,
by the way, he sent me the damn book, by the way, guys. He sent me the book. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. Real talk. I really do. I really do. But, man, it's been a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. I'm coming up to the district.
Come up.
We'll let you know
when. I'll take you around Milwaukee.
We're going to hang out. You're going to talk to the wife and find out, because I've learned that on my 4 divorces, you got to get permission to let your wife know what you're doing.
You definitely.
You got to communicate. I've learned that. Thank you, Barbara Walters.
My wife is a caterer, so
okay.
Be ready to eat. Be ready to eat when you get here.
I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2", and I love good food.
Okay, be ready to eat when you get here.
I love eating good food.
Plenty of good food in Milwaukee, bro.
And I love the cannabis lifestyle.
You would definitely love Milwaukee.
Oh, I'm coming to Milwaukee.
Come on and hang with me then. Come and hang with me. You'll definitely love Milwaukee. This will be your second home. This will be home.
Between Milwaukee, I haven't been to yet, but Oklahoma City want me to come back too. Shout out to OKC. Shout out to them and the new sponsor right there. There it is right there. I got to point them out. New sponsor already. But, Coach, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Montez at MidDay, Black History Month, talking to the brother of the book, The Fullback, Larry Coach Purdue. Tank.
Coach Tank.
Larry Coach Tank Purdue. Check it out, guys. Get the book. I'm going to share the link on my page here immediately following the show. You can check it out again. Check out the latest episode of my podcast, Who's to Blame. It's up and available wherever you listen to your podcast at. It's episode 476. Check it out today. It's your first time tuning into the show. Don't forget you can follow us several different ways on social media. We have a page on Facebook for the podcast, Who's to Blame. Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast. Twitter, at W2B Dre Montez. YouTube, Dre Montez. TikTok, Dre Montez 63. Coach, it's been a pleasure. Let me get the news real quick. Get us up out of here and do this the right way already. See if we got this right. It's that Friday music. This right. Friday. This when you clean up the house, smell like pine salt and bleach all day.
Man, right.
Clean it up the right way. Open them windows, Earlene. Get it.
They going right here. They going.
All right, Coach. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate
Enjoy
you, man.
your weekend.
And if you see me, let me know.
Damn thing. I see you guys in the parade tomorrow downtown St. Louis. I'll let you, Coach. Thanks again.
Take care. Take care.
For sure. Peace.